All right, welcome out to tonight's advisory report. It is Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. We remain in an intermediate uptrend. Our short-term signal is still green and bullish, although today was a nice pullback day in the market, closing near the lows of the day. So we keeping an eye on that to see how far the pullback goes. We are still in very, very strong trend up. So we'll see how that works. Therefore, the conditions are still bullish or favorable. And our idea right now, with the trend being as strong as possible, is that if we get a few day pullback, then it would be a buy the dip, turn back up, buy the dip on strength. And what that means is we wait for the market to pull back a little bit and then to confirm a turn back up. We just don't buy falling knives here. We wait to see if strength comes back in, and that would be the point in time to press the gas pedal. So let's go ahead and look at the charts to see what I'm actually talking about here. We'll give it a second for our intermediate chart to load up. I'll pull back a little bit on the time frame. Looking at about 2020, right? Here is the COVID low. Here is the 2022 bear market. Here is the sort of taxation to foreign imports. And here is the last Iranian crisis or Iranian attack, I guess, pullback, right? So you can see when the market on the intermediate trend is below the 30-week moving average, which is the orange line, it makes sense to be defensive, right? But when the market is above the 30-week line, it makes sense to play offense. That's the difference between the red and the green. And you can see we are in a makes sense to play offense territory, right? And so even though you can see now this line has a little hinge down to it, we'll see how far that wants to go down before gaining buyers. Let's flip on over to the short-term chart. This will be the low right here, March 30th. And like we've been talking about every night, it's been an amazing run. Here's that down day. And so what this shows us is price opened here on the S&P 500 and closed down here. So it was a day where some selling happened throughout the day. And that, it's expected at some point in time. Now, if we have a couple days pullback like we did a couple weeks ago, regain some strength and turns back up, that's fine. I'll look at it at a couple different levels. First, this previous high, there's a little line right there. So we'll see if it catches some buyers as it comes to that spot. Another spot could be the 20-day moving average, see if that creates a turn back up. And then we'll also be looking at that spot if neither of these two hold to see what happens down at this previous low. So we have an idea of what we want to do if the market does pull back, and that's the best that we can hope for, is just to have a game plan and understand if the market goes up, this is what we want to do. If the market goes down, this is what we want to do. So let's go ahead and jump over to bonds really quick. We've been keeping an eye on them recently. Looks like bonds were back down today, so we can kind of see a rally off the bottom, a rejection off of this sort of trend line that I drew, a gap down, a move back up, and now a gap back down. And we'll see now if this thing wants to get some support and go sideways, or if we're going to keep going down. Of course, if bonds are down, the opposite is going to probably happen for yields. So let's just jump over to yields and check out what's going on with yields. And you can see this formation is the complete opposite. And here we are kind of turning back up on yields. But overall, if I just zoom back, it's been kind of sideways for a long time here. And we'll just see what it wants to do eventually. So let's jump over to Market Lens really quick. We'll just look at a couple stocks inside of our ultra aggressive account. We've already talked about the S&P 500. We also have a position in the SSO, which is 2 times the S&P 500. Let's look at XLK, which is the tech sector, and what a run it's been. Like we've mentioned before, And you can see today's action was looking like it was a little different. We opened here. We eventually came all the way down to this spot and then found some buyers and kind of came back up. Still a down day of about 1% for tech. Let's go ahead and look at MRVL. We took a little bit more profit on MRVL all the way up here at the very beginning of the day. And you can see we kind of sold off from that point. We'll see what happens. Looks like after hours, we're still having a little bit more selling. So we'll see kind of what happens throughout the night and where we open up in the morning. But probably a smart move. At least it looks like a smart move so far on taking some more profit up in this area. It's really, really extended from like $200 to like $300. 50% gain in just a matter of a couple days. So nice to have that in your portfolio. Now we just need to continue to play that the right way. And this is in the ultra aggressive portfolio. If you're wondering, I don't talk a lot of returns on this video. You can just go to your account in your, where it's being held, and you can go in your account and you can kind of see what the performance was for the day. So here we have Micron continued higher for the day. Dock In, which was a relatively newer purchase for us, and you can see that actually continued higher on a closing basis on the day. So that one's working. Twilio, looks like Twilio is down 0.9%, but a nice formation here as we had some tightening action. We bought it on this day. This is a 19% up day by the time it was done. Another good day. We actually added a little bit to this today on this hammer formation. We'll see if this is creating kind of the new low. We'll see if it wants to continue higher. Wolf, another one that we have down on the day. Just kind of, you can see this one over the course of time has been pretty volatile, right? So we have a position in this. We're just watching to see what happens. And a new position in POWL today. As you can kind of see this formation, and it broke out above yesterday's high, kind of a little bit of consolidation area, and holding in that area. So that's what I got for you today. Take care. Have a wonderful afternoon. We'll be right back at it tomorrow.